It's now time to go over the different errors that can arise while you're working with Exalate. Due to the very nature of synchronization, there could be a whole host of errors that can occur. They could be related to network connectivity, authentication issues, configuration figures, compatibility problems, or a script error within your script tools. Depending on the type of error, the synchronization will get paused until an administrator comes in and resolves that issue. Then the synchronization will pick up exactly from where it left off. Now, there are 3 levels of errors within Exalate. There's an issue level error, a connection level error, and an Exalate application level error. If you face an issue level error, that means only the transactions relating to that particular issue will get blocked, whereas the rest of the transactions for that connection will continue to flow. The second level is the connection level error, where all transactions related to that particular connection get blocked. And lastly, we have the Exalate application level error, which is quite global in nature, meaning that all your connections get paused for the moment until the issue is resolved. And if there's an error with network connectivity, Exalate automatically detects when that error resolves and starts processing transactions from their own end. But in case there's any other type of error, the administrator usually needs to come in and manually correct that error for the queue to be processed seamlessly from their end. There are a few things you can do when errors occur. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to sabotage our script on the Azure DevOps side by just entering some error code. Obviously, this line of code is going to fail because I've entered some invalid code, right? So when the compiler tries to execute it, it will definitely fail. In order to trigger that code, I will make a small change to my ticket. And as soon as I save that, it will generate an Exalate transaction to the Azure DevOps side. Now on the Azure DevOps side, the incoming sync script will be executed, but it should fail at line number 8 because it has some wrong code in there. So let's go to the errors and see what's happening. As expected, it has failed on line number 8, and it kind of tells you that it's failed on that line, and you can just click on this hyperlink and it will take you straight to the error. What I want to draw your attention to is the impact column. It tells us that the sync for the connection training test is blocked, which means that this was a connection level error. The entire connection is blocked, and until this error gets resolved, any transactions that is coming related to this connection will start getting piled up in the sync queue. How can we deal with this? There are a few ways you can deal with this. The first thing is to decrease the error impact. This error is at connection level right now, so you can decrease the error impact and that would take it down to the issue level. All right, it tells you that the error impact is decreased to issue level. What it means is that only the synchronization for that particular work item is blocked, and all the other transactions within that connection should start proceeding normally. And that's a very handy tool. Another thing you can try is the Resolve and Retry option out here. What it means is that, hopefully, we think that the error is due to some external failure. And once you fix that external issue, you resolve and retry the transaction. Obviously, this time it's going to fail since we know it's the script that is sabotaged. But in case it's an external issue, it might be a problem with the permissions or anything like that. So once you resolve that issue externally, you can come and retry the transaction. There's also the Ignore Related Sync option that is very useful. This will just drop that particular transaction. So only this transaction will be dropped from the sync queue, and your connection will start working normal again. But be cautious here, because the change was already made on the source side. So if you drop this transaction on the destination side, it means that both systems will be out of sync. Now, as long as you know what's going on, this should be fine. Lastly, you can go to the details where you're given some information in addition to what was already shown in the summary screen. If you're interested in the error stack trace, you can look at that as well. And you also have the option of remote replica and the local replica that shows you the contents of the issue arriving from the other end. So in my current situation, I am aware that the issue is on line number 8. So I will simply navigate to line number 8, resolve the issue, and I will publish my code. As soon as I do that, any transaction that was in the error status waiting in the queue will automatically get retried by Exalate. So if I hit the refresh button, I expect that the error should be gone, and that transaction should have successfully committed to the Azure DevOps work item. Let's go there. And yes, my change has come through.